Hi, this is a quick video just to show you a couple things I haven't shown you so far in the tutorials. So I've got two photos open in Photoshop. One is of a city and one is of Morgan Freeman. I'm just going to show you how to blend them together in a way that's a bit more seamless than just using the opacity tool. So first we want to put both images in the same workspace. So we'll just get the Morgan Freeman one and you go layer, duplicate layer. I've shown you this before, but just a reminder. Then you put it into the cityscape one, so you're choosing where you want to move it to. So I'm moving it to the other one. So now when we open the other one, we've got both in there, and you can see that the Morgan Freeman one's a fair bit smaller. So the first thing we need to do is resize it so it's the accurate size. So make sure we've got the Morgan Freeman layer selected, and then we go edit, transform, and there's all these different transform options, so you can change the perspective of it. If we went like this, we can change the way it looks. We might actually do that for a bit of fun. Let's make his head bigger. Alright, so edit. Now we're going to go transform, but what you want to do is scale, and that will change it to scale. So it's going to look weird. Let's just do it like that. So again, this is going to look silly, but just for a bit of fun. Alright, so now we've got our photo of Morgan Freeman on top of the city. So I might actually move him so his eye overlaps the moon if I can. All that way, maybe. Yeah, okay. Alright, so now what you can do is just do the opacity, which is what a lot of people do, and that works fine. But what you can also do is click on this option here where it says normal. So opacity, or when you change the opacity, all that does is changes how see-through that picture of Morgan Freeman is. So he's either completely see-through or not see-through. So you can just change how see-through he is. But if you change this option here where it says menu, what you're doing is you're joining the two layers. So it's no longer Morgan Freeman on top of the city, and then you can kind of see through Morgan Freeman. It's Morgan Freeman and the city get joined together, which is a more advanced way of doing it. So if we go to say, you can just try all these different ones and see which one you think looks the best. But usually overlay or darken, multiply or overlay are my two favorite ones. So we'll go with overlay. And then once you've done this, you can then change the opacity, and that will have another effect to it. So there's that. So let's just say, let's leave it at that for now. You can go, if you right click on the layer and then come up here to blending options, you can also change how much, like what pixels of that layer are being blended into the one below. So we can get rid of some of the lighter colors or some of the darker colors. So it depends on the image, the quality of the image and the image itself, on how versatile this option is. So it's not really working well in this case. So what we can do instead is just change the opacity, and then we might want to get rid of the color from the Morgan Freeman layer. So let's make Morgan Freeman, don't do that, wrong one. Let's make a black and white layer, and then when you click this option here, that makes it apply only to the layer that it's just above. So this adjustment affects all layers below, but if you click on that, now it only applies to the one. That little arrow there points to Morgan Freeman, saying it's only applying to his layer. So if we now click that one off, and if you just look at the Morgan Freeman one, you can see that he's now black and white, which means that we're not mixing all the colors together. We're just using the black and white to mix with the bottom layer, which just has a bit more subtle effect. and then say we wanted to get rid of this line up the top here. We could add a mask layer to the Morgan Freeman, and then using the paintbrush tool with the black and white, we can either paint, that didn't really work very well, because I've got my opacity down, so let's put the opacity up full and see how it looks. And then you can blend it in by bringing it down a bit, and then bring it right down. So I'm just slowly painting that picture of Morgan Freeman out, just to have a bit more of a subtle effect. You can see what I've done there. Again, it looks stupid, but I haven't chosen very good images to do this with, but that's what you can do. And then say you wanted to do something else for effect, like just to make that eye really bright, you could add a brightness and contrast layer, just turn it right up, like that. And then if I press Control I to invert that layer, it now hasn't affected it. But if I paint on that mask with a white brush, and I obviously make my opacity full, there we go. So again, this looks completely stupid, but I'm just showing you how you can blend multiple layers together to create a composite without just putting one on top of the other and changing the opacity. So that's pretty much it. And you can muck around with all these different techniques, adding masks and masking parts out, selecting parts. You can then, if we wanted to then go a step further and add let's add a contrast. Let's add some contrast. Yeah. So again, looks completely stupid, but just showing you some different techniques and how you can create that effect. Alright, that's about all I reckon. Okay, how to stop the video. Mm-hmm.